Claude Code has completely changed the way I run my business and have grown my personal brand. A few months ago, I made the decision to go all in on building my brand on LinkedIn, knowing that the professional connections I would make would likely lead to a lot of leads for my business. This turned out to be true, and in just a couple of months, I went from 1,500 followers to over 10,000 followers. Once I started incorporating AI into my workflow, my impressions went like this, and my followers did the same. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 Claude Code skills I have used to skyrocket my growth. The first gets trending topic in your niche. The second drafts high quality lead magnets targeted to your specific audience. And the third writes LinkedIn posts in your tone of voice. This post right here has 1,800 impressions. I got 92 comments, so these are new leads for the business. This lead magnet post here has 3,500 impressions and 168 comments. And this one performed super well, over 20,000 impressions and over 1,000 comments. So now my inbox looks like this. I've generated over 6,000 leads for the business. I'm going to show you what the skills are, how they work, the outputs they create, and how you can create your own. So focus in, close all your open tabs, and let's build. Today, I'm going to be showing you everything inside of Google Anti-Gravity, even though you could just do this in Claude Code in the terminal. But what's nice about this is that we have access to all of our files over here in the Explorer. And if I want to go ahead and open up a skill, I can just open this up so you can go ahead and read it. Makes our lives a lot easier. If you don't have anti-gravity already, just come over to antigravity.google, go ahead and download this, and then sign in with your Google name and password. There's basically a 3-stage approach that I take to creating high-quality content on LinkedIn, and a strategy that is just outperforming everything else. I've talked with thousands of experts who understand the importance of growing a personal brand and driving organic traffic to their offer, and a lot of them want to start with LinkedIn because it doesn't require them to dance on TikTok or pick up a camera or show their face, and it feels like an easy platform to get access to a professional group of people. The first stage of the pipeline is research. You need to have something to talk about that your audience is going to care about. This is the last 30 days skill, and what this does is it basically researches the last 30 days of trending topic across Reddit, X, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Happy News, Polymarket, and the web, and it finds what the community is actually upvoting and talking about. So what's great about this is you basically have your entire audience telling you exactly what they want to hear from you. So this really resonated with me because one of the first AI automations I ever built was an automation for LinkedIn. It would take trending news sources, it would write a LinkedIn post, all in my tone of voice, and then it would publish it to LinkedIn. This became one of my first YouTube videos, and this actually became one of the first client projects that I ever sold. I sold it for $600, and the rest is history. But now this skill basically incorporates all of that and more in a single place. And so if you want to get access to this skill, it's free and it's super easy to install. You literally just copy this code right here, and you would come into the terminal, or in our case, we'll just do this in anti-gravity. You can go into new terminal and you can just paste in that code and hit enter, and everything's going to install for you. I already have this installed, so I don't need to do this today. But let me show you how it works. So I'm going to open up a new terminal. I'm going to type in Claude to get into Claude Code. So all we have to do here is type in last and go into last 30 days, and it's going to research a topic from the last 30 days. I'm just going to research a topic like AI in business. So while this is cooking, we can go ahead and we can actually open up these skill files here. And skills you can basically think of just kind of like a system prompt and a repeatable set of processes. Oftentimes they will come with a couple of files or folders, which is pretty cool. And so the reason why a skill is a little bit better than a system prompt is because a skill can actually take action. It can read through a whole bunch of different files to figure out what other actions it can take. It can execute code and take actions on your behalf. So this skill file basically is just a set of instructions to the system to look through all of these other files. And the research.md file is basically the most important one for you to know. This is research any topic across Reddit, X, YouTube, and the web. Surface what people are actually discussing, recommending, and debating right now. So here it says, before doing anything, parse the user's input, which basically just means understand the user's input. In my case, it was AI in business for the topic, what they want to learn about, the target tool, if specified, like if I had said I'm going to be using this in Nano Banana Pro or something like that. And then it just goes down here and tells the system how to execute, how to search the web specifically, how to synthesize and collect all of the information in a single hire place. Right here, it says wait Reddit or X hire, because this is actually where most of the conversations are happening. And if you're going to be creating content, you don't want to just be creating content on the news. You want to be creating content on what people are really discussing. So if we come in here, we can see this took a couple of minutes because obviously it's pretty thorough, but here's what it learned: that the solopreneur AI business model is exploding. YouTube content about building lean AI businesses is racking up massive views right now. Start boring is the counterintuitive entrepreneur consensus. This is the most upvoted advice in Our Entrepreneur. Your first AI agent for your business should be boring. There's a lot of backlash on AI slop, and AI agents are going mainstream super fast. So if you're interested in this, now is definitely the time to start learning. And the system is cool because it basically says, here are some things I can help with. Why is the boring first AI agent advice resonating? So this is going to bring me to stage 2 of the process, is actually creating a lead magnet. So why do I say a lead magnet? A lot of people might not like them, but there are a couple of reasons for them. One is they are really, really effective. They do 2 things for you. They let you establish yourself as an expert, and they also provide something of value to your audience. This is the fastest way to grow your following on LinkedIn right now. I guarantee it. Like this post right here has 1,800 impressions. I got 92 comments. So these are new leads for the business. This lead magnet post here has 3,500 impressions and 168 comments. And this one performs super well, over 20,000 impressions and over 1,000 comments. So you can see why these are super valuable. Before I show you the skill, I just want to talk about lead magnets in general because I know a lot of people hate them. Here is the way LinkedIn works. When you are small and you are just growing, you have a small audience of people who is likely your friends, family, and colleagues. These people generally don't care about your business. So you're kind of like posting your expert advice and your opinion and your thoughts on the industry. And these people who are your current followers, they don't really care. You don't really have any good way of reaching the other group of people, the people who do care about your business. That's where the lead magnet comes in. It is hyper-targeted and focused, and it requires them to engage with you in order to receive the thing that they want, thus growing your audience and your following and making your first connections. Ideally, over time, some of these people who are gathering your lead magnets for you will become interested in you as a person and move down the line and down the funnel and funnel their way into your offer. So from here, we can just go ahead and we can call the next skill, which is the lead magnet skill, to dive into it. So I'm just going to type in / go to lead magnet. And what I want to do is I want to basically build this solopreneur AI business playbook, the specific models people are actually building. So I'm just going to talk to the system. The solopreneur AI business playbook is really compelling to me, the specific models people are actually building. I want you to do some further research on this and then create a relevant lead magnet for a high-level audience. So let me show you some of the lead magnets this system has created. I've already created a bunch of them. Like this one just went out, 10 Claude Code skills worth installing right now. So I can open this up and we can see why these are really effective. They have a high converting title. They CTA to my agency or to my school community. I can embed videos or links to my YouTube videos to start getting traction on YouTube. And then I can go ahead and basically just have the system create these full breakdowns of really valuable information for my audience. So here are the 10 Claude Code skills, and you can just go ahead and copy these and install any of them. Or this one here has 197 viral hooks for short form content. I played around with a couple of different ways to distribute these. One is when somebody comments the word on your post, you just send them the thing directly and hope that they trickle down the rest of your funnel to your offer. The other way to do this is to gate the lead magnet behind a landing page. So I've also tried sending people to a landing page like this for my JSON prompting playbook. So now when they comment on my LinkedIn post, I send them a DM that says, hey, you can grab it here. And then they go to this landing page. And in order to actually get the lead magnet thereafter, they have to put in their email. There are pros and cons to this. This does add significant friction to the process. So some people will drop off at this point and they won't want to give you your email, but email still remains one of the best ways to nurture your audience and your leads. So the people who do put in their email are actually the highest intent buyers anyway, and you want to nurture those relationships. So it's a quality over quantity debate. So while this is cooking up our lead magnet, we can go ahead and take a look at the lead magnet skill. This is going to create and publish a Notion native lead magnet with associated LinkedIn posts. So I kind of baked both parts of the process into one. This is going to create the lead magnet and 3 possible posts for me to post on LinkedIn. And so here's essentially how the system works. It's going to, again, parse the user input for the topic and the format. It's going to fetch a YouTube transcript if I give it a YouTube URL and say, hey, create a lead magnet from one of my YouTube videos. It's going to research the topic. It's going to write the lead magnet as a Notion ready JSON file. It's going to push it to Notion automatically using the Notion MCP. And then it's going to draft 3 LinkedIn posts and put everything into Notion for me. So when you're starting to think about building out these systems for yourself, start to think about this process and this flow. And sometimes it's really helpful just to write it down. Like, here's the first thing I want the system to do, and here's the desired output, and then fill in the gaps in between, right? So I say like, okay, I have a news story and I want to get a LinkedIn post that converts with a lead magnet. So what do I need? I need to do the research. I need to create the lead magnet. I need to draft the post, and I need to publish it. Those are the things. How you go about that is up to you. The more explicit you can be to the system with your instructions or the way you want it to approach the task, the better your results will be. So this goes ahead and breaks it down even further. Extract the core topics and thesis, key frameworks and steps, specific numbers, etc. Here's the research, which is mandatory. Before writing any lead magnet, deeply research the topic, use the web to do this, and it's actually going to write a file specific for Notion. But here are some hard constraints that I baked into it. I don't want it to be more than 1,500 words. People don't read that much. I want it to write at a 6th grade reading level, keep everything as simple as possible, not a lot of jargon, right? I want it to be story and narrative driven. So if we come back into the 10 Claude Code skills, this is what I mean by narrative driven. So right now, the Claude Code ecosystem has over 60,000 public skills and the community is building fast. But here's the problem. Most of it is garbage. It's thin, it's generic, etc., etc. So this isn't a list of 10 random skills I found on a website. These are the ones that made it through my own filter. So now we're bringing people, we're telling that story, we're captivating their attention, we're guiding them through the process and letting them know if you're facing this problem, this source right here is the answer you're after. One of the first things I recommend everyone do is create their own tone of voice guidelines. With your ICP, your target audience, any voice rules for how you talk, like concrete and direct or compressed, any things that you should never use or never mention, any storytelling frameworks that you like to use, right? And then I baked it in here with a whole bunch of proof points. So now we can start pulling stories from my real life and my own social proof into my content. Now this looks really overwhelming to create. And if you're doing it manually, it is. But what's cool is that we now have these AI systems to do stuff like this for us. So inside my community, one of the first things I have people do is build their own brand genius or their AI business partner. And in order to do that, you can clone yourself. You can create this data packet of information with your business, your projects, your goals, your communication style, and you can use that to form these tone of voice guidelines. So all you would do is you would come over to this, and if you've been talking to ChatGPT or Claude, it keeps a memory of you. So you can just go ahead and copy this prompt. You can come over to Claude, or if you just want to do this yourself, you could come into Claude and you can just say, based on everything you know about me, create a 200-word tone of voice guidelines. And so since Claude already keeps a memory of you, it's just going to go through your conversations. It's going to understand the way that you talk and the way that you like to communicate, and it's going to create that markdown file that I just showed you. So we can see here, it's starting to build it out with my core voice and proof over adjectives and the structures that I like to use and things like that. So then you can use that, drop it in your folder, or copy and paste it into Claude and say, hey, here are my tone of voice guidelines, save these for later. These systems are really, really smart and they can take a lot of action for you. Just tell it what you want. So this did take a couple of minutes because it's pretty thorough, but in the meantime, while the system is doing that, I can work on other parts of my business. But we can see here that I now have this one-person AI business playbook. So I can open this up and I can see that here are 4 business models generating 10 to 100K a month with no employees. Super, super cool. It already bakes in my CTA. So if I'm trying to drive traffic and convert people, they know exactly where they need to go. But here's the gap that most people miss. Most people are using AI like a faster typewriter. They prompt, they copy paste, they save 20 minutes on a task, then they go back to working the same way they always have, just slightly faster. I didn't write any of this. So here are the 4 models that can actually work in 2026 to make money with AI. The AI Automation Agency. Here's what you do. You identify a painful manual process that a business repeats. Then you charge for setup and ongoing maintenance. It even gives you a revenue structure. So most solo operators with 3 to 5 active clients are doing $8,000 to $15,000 a month. Not a bad way to make a living. If you want to get the rest of this playbook, I'll leave a link in the description. And what's even cooler is if I come back up to the top here, I can twirl down these properties and I have 3 variations of possible LinkedIn posts for me. A contrarian post, a pain first post, and a results-led post. So we can just open up any one of these and we can see a $10 million AI business with 0 employees isn't a prediction anymore, it's a playbook. So that's the contrarian take. And then variation C, results-led. I happen to like results-led the best. That's been working for me the most. One content studio owner in the SaaS niche, they work 25 hours a week and they make $420,000 a year. So you can go ahead and you can adjust the tone of voice, you can adjust the formats, you can adjust the prompting to fit what you want for your audience. So you would just copy and paste this over to LinkedIn. You can attach a screenshot of the playbook itself. I've just been making these little GIFs where I take a screen recording and I just scroll through the page like this and add some text over top in Photoshop. That way we get a little motion on the page, and then you publish it to LinkedIn. Super easy. This piece of the puzzle really took care of the lead magnet generation and the LinkedIn post writing. But I do have a separate skill just for writing if we want to use it. So I'm going to close out of these terminal windows and I'll just open up a new terminal and I'll go back into Claude. And I can just type in / LinkedIn post because maybe I don't want a lead magnet. Maybe I just want a post, because having a balance of lead magnets and authority building or expert positioning posts will really serve you the best in the long term. You don't just want to be hammering people with giveaways. You actually want to establish yourself as an authority. What's really great about this is this just plugs into your daily life. Like if you just had a thought or you had a great conversation with someone and you wanted to draft a post about it, it, this is a really good way to do it. I want to write a LinkedIn post about how everybody has a personal brand and their story is their asset. A lot of people are scared to lean into their backstory or their personal stories because it feels like, they're exposing themselves, but this is one of the most valuable things that you can possibly do. So I'm just going to send off this idea I had for a LinkedIn post, and now the system is going to get to work. It's going to do a little bit of research. It's going to draft the post in my tone of voice. And so now this is what makes this skill really powerful. It can go ahead and here, and I have this reference folder here, and it just has a couple of different examples. This is an example of a post that I found that I liked, and you can add to this over time. You can just go to LinkedIn, you can copy and paste posts. Basically, you can just say, add to this and say, hey, add this post to my list, add this post to my list. And so now the skill is going to get better over time because it has stronger references. And so here's the post that I wrote. Your biggest asset on LinkedIn is the story you're too scared to tell. Most people treat their personal brand like a highlight reel. They post credentials, wins, and polished takes and wonder why nobody engages. If you're interested in going deeper and you want to learn how to use industry-leading AI tools to build your personal brand and drive traffic to your offer, check the link in the description. If you want to see my 8 tips for using anti-gravity better than 99% of people out there, just check out this video right here. I'll see you over there.